Plarium just announced the Festival of Creation, part of the 5th anniversary of Raid, and along with it, the March Fusion Champion. Hey guys, here he is, Armanz the Magnificent. They're kind of playing him off like he's some kind of bard slash fortune teller slash magician, but he's part of the barbarians. I just don't quite see the barbarians as part of this. He looks like basically pumped up Captain Jack Sparrow. So I think the whole pirate theme was the initial, the barbarians just throw me off. I just don't see that connection there. But other than that, the champion looks pretty cool visually. I'm digging it. The fusion champs are always kind of, it's not that they're hit or miss, but they're either spectacular right out of the gate, and then as you get closer and closer, you're kind of like, am I ever going to use them? Or they're just champs that we use all the time. And looking back on some of the fusion champs, there have been some fantastic champs. This, I think, is going to be in that realm. So let's take a look at what all he's bringing to it, because what they released as far as his breakdown is pretty intense. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on here. So we've got his A1 attacks one enemy, 35% chance of decreasing the cooldown of a random active skill by 2 turns. Fills the champion's turn meter by 10% for each added to the cooldown, which, I mean, that's just kind of interesting right out of the gate. Fills his champion turn meter by 10% for each added to the cooldown. So increases the cooldown of a random active skill by 2 turns. So it's his cooldown. Attacks 1. Fills turn meter by 10% for each turn added to the cooldown of a random skill by 2 turns. So 35% chance. So whether or not it happens, it's 10% by 2 turns, so that's 20%. They worded that really weird. So it's basically a 20%. If it's booked, does it add anything? It doesn't add like extra turns or anything. Why did they word it that way? That's kind of weird. Let's zoom in on this just so we can see a little bit closer. Yeah, that's all it is. The A2 though, now this is the one that is adding a new mechanic, something I've never seen before. AoE, but it steals all the turn meter of each target except enemies under sheep debuffs, and then places a stun debuff for 1 turn on all enemies not under a sheep debuff. I don't like the polymorph. I'm not big on the sheeps, and this is another sheep guy, but this right here, the stealing of the turn meter. So if you're attacking a 4-man team and they've got 30%, 50%, 70%, 10%, so you're talking, that's 150% that you're stealing. So he's gonna fill his turn meter up. As long as the champions that you're hitting are not under a sheep and they all add up to 100% turn meter stolen, they're gonna have empty turn meters and he's gonna be able to go again. And that's fully booked a 3-turn cooldown. That is crazy, especially if this guy's set up to be fast to begin with. Okay, now the A3 for my next trick places a sheep debuff on an enemy for 1 turn. I don't get the fascination with the polymorph and the sheep. Then has a 75% chance of removing all buffs from all enemies. Fills his champion's turn meter by 5% for each buff removed. So the stealing of the buffs doesn't steal them, he just removes them. But then he converts that over to turn meter. So again, more turn meter control on his A3. Just ignore the sheep. Let's see. His passive, whenever a sheep debuff is removed or expires on an enemy, increases the cooldown of a random active skill on that enemy to its max. Fills this champion's turn meter by 10% for each turn added to the cooldown. If there are multiple champions on the team with this skill, only one will activate. And he has a 28% arena aura. So as far as a fusion champion goes, he is top notch. Specifically, if you're looking for someone to be used in the arena, obviously the arena will be big for this. So that is a lot that he is bringing to the table. Now, what we know about the fusion right now is it's part of the 5th anniversary Festival of Creation, which is going to start once the Titan event that we have right now, where we're getting the Rathalos blessings. Once that ends, this is going to begin. It is the 5th anniversary Festival of Creation. The actual fusion will start next Thursday, March 7th, for the month of March. They've said that this is going to be a new fusion format, but it's not really new. We've seen this before. It's 4 epics that are required to fuse to create Armanz, but those 4 epics are only available through fragment collection. So it's kind of a hybrid. You're gonna use the fragments to collect the epics that are necessary to give you Armanz. So it's not anything necessarily new, but it's kind of a mix between a fragment and a fusion to get you Armanz. No word yet on whether or not the epics are going to be available to be able to pull through shards and stuff on the way. But overall, oh my God. I mean, this is a spectacular champion. If you're part of Hell Hades free-to-play series, it's about 50 content creators that are doing this. We're 7 weeks into it, 8 weeks into it, be 8-9 weeks by the time this comes around. This will probably be the last fusion that we have a chance to complete as part of this free-to-play series. And if you were able to complete the last fusion as free-to-play, this one should be achievable as well, as long as you've been smart with your shards coming into it. So I am definitely picking him up for the free-to-play and my main account as well. This is going to be a force to be reckoned with in Arena. That's it. I'm Finally He Sleeps. Make sure you subscribe here at YouTube so you never miss when a Raid Shadow Legends video goes live. And then check me out on Twitch, where we're playing Raid a few days a week, especially in the free-to-play series. That's it. As long as you guys keep showing up, I'll keep making videos. Thanks for watching. If you haven't noticed, my YouTube channel has expanded. Subscribe here for Raid Shadow Legends content, but make sure you check out my other channels as well for EA Sports FC, Everything Automotive over at Gearheads, and visit Cringeworthy for a few laughs. Subscribe links are right over there.